Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It is Monday, April 27th, day 42 of the income stream. And today I'm going to answer as many questions as possible for you to help you in your business, whether you're just getting started or you're a veteran business owner. Thanks for being here and welcome to the income stream.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Pat Flynn, here to help you make more money, save more time, and help more people too. Doing this online business thing for 12 years now, which is pretty crazy. Ever since the 2008 recession, and that was actually that moment that led me to here. It was actually getting laid off that helped me discover all the opportunities that were actually out there for me. I guarantee you, if I didn't get let go back then, if the recession did not happen, I would not be in the position I am today. So think about that in light of what's happening today. There's a lot of people who are losing their jobs, and I think that there is going to be an opportunity for many of those people to take advantage of this situation and to have themselves come out even better than they did coming into it on the other side of this. I had a video that was filmed last week. Fun fact about that video, it was actually filmed live here on the income stream. And that video right now is still performing extremely well. In fact, it's the #1 video coming out of the gate in terms of velocity. And you, many of you were there. If you were there, let me know what that was like to watch that behind the scenes. Maybe the biggest lesson you learned watching behind the scenes. And for everybody else who's in here who wasn't there, maybe they can get a sense of what that was like. Because it wasn't a straight shot. It wasn't a one-take Jake, as we call it in the industry. It was a lot of mistakes. But then I came out a few hours later with the final version, ripping all the mistakes out. And that video, you saw it. It's now approaching 30,000 views, I think, 20 or 30,000 views. It's kind of crazy. But stoked about it. Really, really stoked about it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Just going to say hello to some of y'all. Ben here in the house. What's up? Shilpa, happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday indeed. Just Samson in the house. By the way, Karma, thank you so much for that super chat earlier. I saw that come in as I was getting ready. What's up, Rochi? Good to see you. Dan Morton in the house. Welcome in. Karma, hashtag. Bruh. And nice t-shirt says Kalpana. Thank you so much. I was trying to do something funny with this, like Yoshi's grabbing the, but then it looks like it's piercing through his tongue, and I don't want that to happen. Monday stream, good to be back with you after a busy weekend. Indeed, a busy weekend. Let's see. We got AV Piers, we got Amused Muse, Joanna, we got Grandma Goody in the house as well. Jonathan, Mario Kart for the win. This was from Super Mario World, in fact, one of my favorite games. Really crazy. There's some really good, what's up, Our Healing Project. There is a gaming history channel here on YouTube that is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I mean, it's like, it might as well be documentaries every time this person publishes. And my family and I, we just watched one related to Mario and then Mario 2. The story about Mario 2 is crazy. I don't know if you knew about this, but the actual Mario 2 was just kind of an updated version of the regular Super Mario Brothers, and everybody hated it. It was too difficult. It was just like the first one, and so they actually, for the US release of Mario 2, put Mario characters inside an already pre-existing game. And that's why it looks completely different. They just mapped Mario characters on top of that. And that's why Mario 2 is so different. Cool. Welcome in, Francis. Thanks for being here today. Kevin in the house. Michael. And let's do another one. KS, thank you so much for your kind words. As always, thanks for being here with us during quarantine. This is so valuable. And that's why I'm here. I started this 42 days ago just to kind of do a couple days live to show up for you, to help you out during this situation. And those 2 days turned into a week, turned into 2 weeks. And here we are, 6 times 7, 42. 6 weeks later. Yes, 6 weeks later, which is pretty amazing. And we're not stopping, y'all. Bruh. We are not stopping. But we are hopping on the question train. So if you have questions, let me know in the chat and I will answer them. We're going to go through as many as possible. We're going to save website reviews for later. We did a whole bunch over the weekend. We gave away a bunch of copies of my book, Superfans. And as I'm waiting for questions to come in, we do have a light goal today. The light goal is 200. We're already at 54 at the time that I'm sharing this. The light goal is 200. And if we get to 200, I'm going to share something that's up here on the shelves, which is a ridiculous fan gift. It's ridiculous because it's kind of over the top, but it's absolutely insane, and I love it, and it's crazy. And so I'm excited to share that with you. Rafal, welcome. Thank you so much for the super chat. As always, my friend, I appreciate you for that. And by the way, there's a lot of people asking about how to get into the Slack. And if you could answer those questions, that'd be great. If you could even send me some information about how I can better help people insert themselves into the Slack group for chatting afterwards, that would be amazing too. Cool. Let's keep the party train going. Albert says, that is amazing. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this. Welcome, Team Flynn. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. 42 is my favorite number. ErnoFacts, hashtag ErnoFacts. 42 straight days. Amazing. Let's see. When do I get my broken arm story? Yes, that broken arm story. We'll make that a goal for tomorrow. How about that? Fran says, do you recommend using Instagram story ads to grow your page on Instagram? I haven't personally done that. I can see that working. However, I like to approach ads in a way where I know that if I'm spending, for example, $1 per lead, that I'm getting more than $1 back later. So just to grow a social following, I don't necessarily know if that's the right idea unless you are tracking from your Instagram regular profile whether or not, a certain number of followers turns into a certain number of dollars. Excuse me, I think it's really important to understand where you're getting the ROI. Just to pay for followers, I think is an easy way to grow. However, I think that we can perhaps look at more creative ways to grow and even better ways that allows us to bring targeted people in on their own as a result of finding us. Now, it's not going to happen unless you do some stuff, which is why I'm holding like a big traffic building workshop tomorrow for people who have paid for access to that. But there are a lot of tactics that you can use. For example, guest podcasting, SEO, for example. These are all free organic ways to pull people in and attract them such that it almost makes it seem like they found you versus you found them. And I love that. It's sort of like Inception, right? Thank you. What is your why? Appreciate that super chat. Let's answer this question. And by the way, the super chats that come in, they're sort of like paid comments for those of you who have never seen those before. And these paid comments, I am not requiring them. I do see them, obviously, because they're highlighted questions, and I will answer those questions if they do come in for sure. However, not required. I still answer everybody else's questions as much as possible too. I will happily accept that money, however, and then send it over to the San Diego Food Bank at the end of the month. And I'm really excited to calculate how much we've actually contributed and how many meals we're going to pay for here in April. In March, because we start at the tail end of March, we had over 1,000 meals donated. We've already crushed that goal, which is pretty amazing. All right, so to answer this question from what is your why, what is your morning routine in granular detail? Okay, so I wake up at about 7 a.m. I take a drink of water. It's really important to have a drink of water with a little bit of lemon in there to get the digestive system moving. I've heard that that's a good thing to do. And then I go take a shower, and then I comb my hair, I get changed. Well, I get changed, then I comb my hair. Not all these things are gonna be in the right order. It'd be weird if I comb my hair and then change, right? I'm trying not to. Sorry to put that picture in your mind. And then I will go make a pot of coffee. I'll get the kids up. They're getting ready. I make them breakfast, all while the coffee's brewing. And then I get everything ready for the live stream. And really, everything's ready to go the day before. The waiting room is ready. The gear is all ready. And then I just flip all the lights on, turn the computer on. Everything's ready to go. And I go do the live stream here at 8 a.m. Then after that, I am typically on some calls, and then I have a break for lunch where I cook the family a lunch, and then we kind of, depending on the weather, we either eat outside or eat on the counter in the kitchen. And then after that, I might get back to work, and the kids all, meanwhile, are with April, and she's doing the distant learning thing with them, and she's helping them typically with either school stuff and or life skills stuff. Like Mondays are big chore days for us, so she's got the kids to do cleaning the bathroom, folding the laundry, like doing really amazing stuff, trying to make as much of this time as possible. Then typically I'm done around 3 p.m., in which case I'm playing games with the kids, we're outside, we're having fun. Then I cook dinner. Yes, I'm the chef in the house. And then we play some board games or either watch something on Netflix while eating dinner. And then bedtime, 9 p.m. for the kids. Usually it's like 8:30 if there was school, but there isn't school. It's distant learning at home with Zoom calls and stuff. And then I'm usually with my wife, and we either just chat or watch something, or we get the house clean and ready for the next day. And then boom, rinse and repeat. And that's about it. Thank you. Julie says, I'm new to your community. I enjoy your podcast resources. Do you have a podcast course that you are offering? I do have a podcast course. If you actually check out poweruppodcasting.com, Julie, thank you so much for asking. I appreciate you for asking that. Yes, I do have a podcasting course. We've had, I think, 3,000 students go through it very successfully. Some students actually changing their entire careers as a result of the podcast that they've started, which is super cool. Super cool. And Filtered Equestrian, thank you so much for showing up. Pat helping with the Slack, says Barry. That's what I'm here for. Corey says, niche-based affiliate products or that plus some cool random stuff. Or that, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Corey. If you could re-ask that question, I'd be happy to answer that for you. Tomorrow we get Please the Broken Arm Story, fam. I have been waiting for it for weeks. Yeah, that was a goal that we didn't hit a couple weeks ago. I was going to tell a story, but we didn't reach our like goal. If we don't reach our like goal, I'm not going to give you the goods. I'm not going to give you the goods. By the way, like goal of 200, I'm going to share a ridiculous fan GIF with you. And I'm really excited to share that. So hopefully we can get there, y'all. Hopefully we can get there. Let's see. Let's keep going. With no list, how would you promote a free webinar? This is a great question, Diana. So if I didn't have a list, and this is how important a list is. If you have a list, you already have a group of people to promote to. You already have a group of people to share that you have a new blog post. You already have a group of people to share that you have this amazing podcast guest on. And you have an already amazing group of people that you could ask questions to collect feedback, to get some understanding of the next direction you should take, all that good stuff. So this is why email marketing is absolutely key. So if you don't have a list, there's other quote unquote lists that you might have available to you. For example, social media, all of those accounts, that's fair game for you sharing that you have this thing coming out, and also asking for people to share it should they know other people who might be interested in that topic as well. So that's list number one. List number two are all the groups that you might be involved with. Hopefully, you should have developed a relationship with either the founder of that group or other people in that group, such that when you come in and you share that you're doing this thing, that it's not going to seem like spam. It can be very, very spammy, even if it's useful to go into a group and share some stuff. What you could do instead is do a question first that would then identify who might be helped with this webinar. So an identification post first versus just blasting it out to everybody. You can instead go, hey, who here is doing video for their business? I'd love to share some tips with you. And then you can either follow up later with a public post sharing these tips, again, for free, delivering value, and go, hey, by the way, if anybody wants more in the comments, I would go, hey, I'm actually doing a live webinar here. That way you've sort of had this precedent of having already contributed and added value in there. So that's number two. And then number three, you likely have some people that you have direct connection with via email, not an email list, but you might have contacts, text messaging, Skype contacts, whatever you have access to. And then fourth and finally, should you choose and have the ability to do this, is paid ads, right? Targeted ads to specific groups of people who would completely feel bad missing out on that opportunity, right? And that's why it's so important to get the messaging correct with anything that you're offering. What is the purpose? What is this going to give somebody? You need to nail that so that anybody, even somebody coming in cold, can understand, oh, that's for me. Oh, who's this run by? That's the order of operations versus, oh, who's that person? Oh, and what is this about? No, we need a person to respond and go, wow, that's exactly what I was looking for. Let me look into it more. That's what we need to do. Muse says, question, is it better to time when you post content or when you send traffic to it, such as through social media or email reminders? It kind of depends on the channel, right? Because for podcasting specifically, you want to publish your podcast through your podcast host super early in the morning. That's best practice because it takes time for Apple and Spotify and Google and all the other places to actually then display your podcast. If you share it in sort of the late morning and then blast an email out about it, it still might not be sort of propagated onto all those directories yet. So best practice for podcasting is to upload it the day that you wanted to upload it at like 3 a.m. in the morning so that by the time everybody wakes up, it's already available in their feed and everybody can get it. And then you can make the announcement after that. With YouTube, however, on video, there is something to be said for having velocity right out of the gate. And thankfully, when you hit publish with your YouTube video, or when you go live, for example, that's the moment at which you should be letting people know about it because you want to have as much velocity there in the beginning as much as possible. And now, there is a YouTube channel called Creator Studio, I think it's called, or Creators. YouTube creators. I think that's the name of the channel. Anyway, they share a lot of good advice. They're actually people who work at YouTube to share what they're working on. And they've said prominently, we do not build tools within our algorithm that check velocity for the acceleration of a video. They specifically said they don't do that. However, as a byproduct of other things that they do, that is actually really important. The velocity coming out of the gate is really important, right? Because the more watch time, the more engagement that you have early on, the more likely it's able to be seen in other people's browse features, which means their home or their subscriptions, all that other stuff matters. So although YouTube doesn't build specifically or have a variable in their algorithm specifically for how fast is this video going, if it's going fast, okay, let's blast it out even more. Well, they're still a byproduct of having some really good velocity that actually play into, on a second tier level, the YouTube algorithm. So it depends. It really depends. Let's see. Dear Pat, do you know if Gumroad's still in business? Their YouTube channel's off for 5 years. What do you honestly think of Teachable and Podia? Why Teachable in particular? Well, there's an interesting story about Teachable. Teachable is a online course platform, one that I'm an affiliate for. I'm also an advisor to the company. By the way, they recently got acquired, which is super cool. And me now owning a very, very small, but small, none of that, a piece of the company nonetheless, still really helpful. And still really cool. So I'm proud about that. But I haven't been very loud about that because I don't want to be loud about that during this time, right? When other people are not doing so well, and then this thing gets acquired, and then boom, like that's anyway, super cool. Very proud of the team. Teachable is great because it's sort of an all-in-one platform for if you have online courses, they take care of everything for you, including how you accept payments, including an affiliate program for your courses itself, and their entire team is there just to make sure that it's easy for you as the content creator and also easy for the student to go through. There are other options like Thinkific and Podia and other ones that are great too. The reason why I'm a big fan of Teachable and why I'm on Teachable is because Ankur, the CEO, reached out to me. We had lunch and we built a relationship, quite honestly. And it was funny because 2 weeks later, Greg from Thinkific reached out to me and actually sent me a drone to try and build a relationship. And I was like, dude, thank you so much for this. I actually had lunch with Ankur a couple of weeks ago, and I've already committed to using Teachable for my first online course. And he's like, oh, I'm 2 weeks late. So honestly, it was because Ankur reached out to me first, and he built a relationship with me, which shows you how important that actually is and why you shouldn't wait on that. Number two, in terms of Gumroad, Gumroad is a service online that allows you to sort of sell things, one-off products, digital products, things like that, very easily. Gumroad, I'm not a big fan of. They've messed up a lot of things in one of my businesses, unfortunately. And I'm a much bigger fan of Samcart for things like that. If you have something to sell online, you want to make it easy, you just want to set up a page to get it sold and connect to Stripe, PayPal, etc., then Samcart would be the one that I would recommend for that. Teachable has all the things though. The course platform, drag and drop, video hosting, all that stuff is all built in. Josh says, launching a co-hosted podcast. Does every episode need to include both co-hosts? No. By the way, your podcast, it's your podcast. You can do whatever you want with it. You can make up the rules. Just don't copy somebody else's stuff. Don't use, licensed music and licensed artwork, right? That's it. Everything else is fair game. So if you want to launch a co-hosted podcast and there happens to be moments where you either don't show up or the other person doesn't show up, then that's totally fine. Just be honest and let people know what's going on. And I think that's fine. No worries whatsoever with that. Coach Deb in the house. What's up, Coach? Jammin says, do super chats make a difference as far as your video channel ratings? No, I don't believe so. I don't think like the more money you get, the more exposure you'll get and things like that. What I do believe though is if you're providing enough value such that you're receiving super chats, that means that you're providing enough value that, YouTube will likely see that you are having more watch time, you're having more engagement, you're having more people on. And I think that does matter, but it's not the super chats themselves. I think the super chats are a byproduct, much like how increased viewership is a byproduct of having great content, having valuable content that people watch. What is the dollar to meal ratio at SD Food Bank? I think it's $1 per meal. I think it's $1 per meal or 1 to 10. I don't know exactly, to be honest. I'm just donating money and they're like, hey, this is how many meals you got. Sukman says, Pat, do you affiliate other courses when you find valuable for people? In other words, do I promote other people's courses that I find valuable even though I have my own courses? First of all, the way that I got started in online business was, yes, creating my own product, but then I learned about affiliate marketing. And in fact, affiliate marketing has made still 85% of my income over the last 12 years. And for a while, it was actually promoting other people's courses. And I still promote other people's courses. I used to promote a lot of Ramit Sethi's courses, and unfortunately, he removed his affiliate program. But that just shows you the importance of diversity, by the way, because an affiliate, a person who owns a product, can do whatever they want with it, right? So if you build your business in their sandbox, if they change the rules, then you're screwed. And that happened to a lot of people recently with the Amazon commission cuts, the rates being cut very recently too, which is just disheartening, especially because people have built their entire businesses and livelihood on top of that. Again, diversity, building your own stuff, having your own products really important. However, yes, I've promoted other people's stuff. I've even promoted podcasting courses before I had my own course. Now that was a big decision moment. This is, let's do story time with Pat Flynn. So for the longest time, I promoted other people's podcasting courses. These are people that I know, people that I love, people that I trust. And so it didn't hurt me and it didn't feel bad sending other people their way, because people would come to me for a lot of the free stuff and I go, hey, there's some courses out there that can help you. Go to them, they'll take care of you, I promise. And yes, they did take care of them, and I'm very much thankful for them being able to do that. However, a couple years later, a lot of people came to me and said, Pat, appreciate you sending my way toward, X, Y, and Z people to teach podcasting, but no, I want to learn from you, Pat. And I would push them away. I go, no, I don't have time to create a course. There's these courses that already exist that they're doing it justice. I don't want to feel like I'm copying. And they're like, no, Pat, we want to learn from you and your style. Plus we want to pay you back for all the value. We don't want to pay somebody else. And so I finally heard that, and it wasn't until a good friend of mine, Derek Halpern, said, Pat, you are actually doing your audience a disservice by sending everybody else away, because you're losing control of your audience at that point. You've worked so hard to build those relationships and trust and that authority with those people, and then you're just sending them away. You know that you can help these people who've come to you better than anybody else. And I was like, I know, Derek, but I don't want to. What am I going to do? These relationships that I have, I'm going to take away that income. And they're like, Pat, you've already been doing them a helpful thing for years now, but it's about time you help those who matter most, and that's your audience. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I created an online course to help people with podcasting. In fact, it was just a beta group just to kind of validate it. And yes, it was validated. 127 people came in before it was even created. I actually pre-sold it. And then I reached out to those people who had podcasting courses, and just like any good relationship, a good relationship comes with communication and being very honest. And it was quite amazing to get support from those people, because these people who are successful entrepreneurs, guess what? They come from a place of abundance. Hey, the more the merrier, the more people who can help with podcasting, the more all of us will succeed. They didn't feel like I was taking away. They felt like I've given them a gift for so long, and they're proud of me for creating my own course. And they knew that there were only people who would learn from me and nobody else. So how amazing is that? The community is awesome. The creator community is great. And it was just so fantastic that they were supportive. That was tough for me, because I felt bad about that for sure. Will says, I went through your course on validating a product, so Smart from Scratch, which is, again, by the way, available, smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit. You can see it here on this page when you land there. This went crazy. So sorry about that. All right, we are back though. Just, what is going on with the intranets today? I am wired and I have a large bandwidth coming in. Anyway, we're good. By the way, like goal 200. We are almost there. Just keep hitting that like button. We're well over 200 people in the room right now, so it just takes a quick like or dislike. It doesn't matter, although those don't count. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'm sorry I lost all the questions that were there earlier as a result of the stream restarting, but thank you, Ecamm, for not having me set this whole thing up again and just saying, hey, do you want to resume? And yes, I resumed, and here we go. So that's awesome. Ecamm for the win and the save, which is really cool. I believe that's a YouTube issue. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see. Let's see, some good conversation happening, which is really amazing. Thank you so much. Love the story music. Let's see. Okay, let's go down. Maybe there's some new questions. Super chat coming in from Francis. Thank you so much, Francis. I appreciate you for that. Let's display this. Hi, Pat. 2008 was the first time I traveled for work, read the 4-Hour Workweek, saw your blog that year. You're awesome. You give value. God bless. God bless to you as well. Thank you so much for that. The 4-Hour Workweek was a big book for me too. Not because it was a lot of large words and lots of pages, but big because it actually had a very profound effect on the way that I approached business. I had read the 4-Hour Workweek after getting laid off. It shared with me some incredible, innovative ideas that I've never seen before. Thank you again, Francis, for that. In terms of how you can actually put things into place and invest time up front and get paid back for it later, right? Work hard now, reap the benefits later, versus working X hours, getting paid for X hours. It was just a completely wild idea to me back in the time. And this is what allowed me to understand that when I built my architecture exam website to help people, that I had choices, that I didn't have to have a physical copy of a book. I didn't have to go to the post office to deal with shipping and then returns and all that stuff. I could actually just deliver it all digitally using tools to help automate it such that I could invest time in this and then it would pay me back in the future. And that's exactly what it did, which was pretty crazy. Mary says, how do you feel having to do the office hours every week for all the different courses you have? I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing. And the reason why, and this is something that I add for all of my courses, being able to do office hours, 2 hours a week, every week. I blast through nearly 100 questions every time. We go a lot faster than what we do here because this is a little bit more casual, but it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing because I know from my own experience that sometimes it just takes the answer to one question that was holding me back to really just change the entire game, to change my focus and to change my results for a course that I've invested in. Plus, it allows me to continually show up for people. It also allows me to collect feedback because if people are asking questions and it's the same question over and over, I can understand, wow, that's probably something we should be putting into a course. So it actually helps me out as well. But I also know that it provides a ton of value, and a lot of people have said that it is the office hours itself that if it was just that alone, it would be worth the price of admission for the course. The course is just a bonus, which is like the best feedback I could ever get. Plus, being able to answer people's questions one-off in front of everybody allows me to answer multiple people's questions at the same time because a lot of people still have the same questions. And also people watching, they might not know they have those questions, but they can also get inspired by the answers and also see other people doing the work too and get inspired to do the work as well, which is really cool. Xavier says, your children's names are beautiful. Are they Polynesian? Do they mean something? Yeah, so they are Hawaiian names, and they each have meanings, right? Like all good Hawaiian names do. So my daughter, Kailani, love that name. It's so beautiful because it means sea and sky. And it's perfect because she loves the ocean, she loves the beach, and she's amazing. So Kailani, sea and sky. And my son, his name is Keone. Keone, beautifully and eloquently, translates to John. John. Like it literally just means John. It's the Hawaiian version of John. That's what it means. It is actually one of the most common names in Hawaii. And it was funny because I remember when my wife and I got pregnant with Keone and we were letting my parents know my dad's name is John. And I was like, Dad, we're going to name our kid after you. He's like, really? And I was like, kinda. We're going to name him Keone, which means John. So like a cooler version of your name, Dad. Sorry. So yes, it literally means John. Life Warrior says, do you still train for triathlon during the quarantine? I haven't trained for triathlon in a couple years. In fact, my last one was a couple years ago. So much fun though. My swimming time got improved by like 50% from when I started to how I ended. But I've been doing a lot more running, and actually I've been doing a lot more rowing. And here in quarantine, I've been doing a lot of the rower in the garage, and that's nice because it's at home and it's just a full body workout. It's less impact on the knees. And I can get some good workouts in on the rowing machine, on the erg. I absolutely hate that thing, but I love it so much. Cheers to Tim Ferriss. 4-Hour Workweek changed everything. It was the beginning of the best chapter of life thus far. Amen to that. Yes, I love the lifetime access and office hours to have access to you for questions. Thank you, Mary. So glad that you're there. Cool. Gorgeous names, Pat Flynn. Yeah, those are my wife, her ideas. I would have named them like, Jim and Janice. I don't know. Probably not. That's no offense to Jim's or Janice, but I don't think that fits the look of our family very well. Dole Up Dad says, those office hours you mentioned, sounds like a good idea to use that idea for members on YouTube. Is it a Zoom call, private YouTube stream? Google Meet. What do you prefer? So it's a Zoom call. It's just a Zoom call, and it's great. I do a Zoom webinar, in fact, and not a Zoom meeting, because we get, 50 to 80 people in every single week. And, some people show up every time. Some people show up, just get their questions answered, and then move on. And that's enough value for them. But it's just a Zoom webinar. And I like the webinar versus just the Zoom meeting, because then I'm the only one on camera. Not because I'm like, hey, I'm the only one that should be on camera. But in fact, if it's office hours and you want to manage an entire group of people, it's so much easier to manage on a webinar, because you are the host and there's other people who are there via text, and they ask their questions in the Q&A box. That's the beauty of this. I ask people to ask questions in the Q&A box. Chat goes in the chat box, Q&A in the Q&A box. And that allows me to see the questions as they come in, Dole Whip Dad, and I can answer them in that order, and I make sure I don't miss them. Versus if they were just in the chat, just like they are here. I mean, I'm missing so many questions just because there's so many people in the room right now. And so if you're gonna do office hours, I think Zoom is a great tool for that. And using the webinar feature, Q&A, works really, really well. All right, here was that question from Will. I got 3 purchases for 3 different ideas after emailing my 5K email list for $10 each. So that's great, because you got some validation up front, which is really great. What should I do to make more money? I'm going through with making these courses maybe. Okay, so what I would do is pick the one idea. So this is very similar to Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham, an old school marketer, he used to do this when he was writing books. He would buy classified ads for 3 different book ideas and literally have a phone number on there, a different one for each, to have people call in to get the book. These books were not created yet. This was his way to validate which of these book ideas was the most popular. And so he would go and see which ones people would call in for and purchase. And then he would refund those books that weren't actually done, and to the ones that, to the book that was actually the most popular, he would reach back out to them and say, hey, thank you so much. I'm actually writing this book right now. So glad you got in early. You're getting a discount for it. I'd love to ask you even some more questions so that you can help, you can make sure that it is the exact book that you were hoping for. And this is sort of the same thing that you could do, Will. You could reach out to those people, and perhaps there's one that's more popular than another, or one that's more exciting for you. And then you can focus on just repackaging that messaging and selling more people into that. And you can even use the person who had already purchased and ask them feedback about, well, what made them buy that? What are they most excited about? And you can use that messaging in your further conversations, because now you have proof that some people want this, and some people don't want to be the first to go. They don't want to be the first to purchase, but if they see other people purchasing it, which is why testimonials are important, but you can even share somebody who's excited who just purchased to sell more of that product, and you can go about doing that, which would be really cool. By the way, we are within 40 of our light goal today, which is really cool. So keep on rocking with that. I'm going to do a test, by the way. I'm going to go back to the website, sharing the screen, and hopefully it doesn't freeze again. If it freezes again, then that'll prove to us that something's buggy over here. But I should be able to get it back either way. So hang tight. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to scroll a little bit. Okay, so far so good. I'm moving. I see nothing's freezing. Here's the website for that. And this is, again, where you can get access to the free materials, including this course here, Smart from Scratch, which you can see right up there, Smart from Scratch. We've given away over $2.5 million worth of that course, and that's helping people get started right now. Okay, we didn't freeze, which is a good sign. We didn't freeze. By the way, for everybody new here, patflynn.com/theincomestream every morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. My name is Pat Flynn, here to help you make more money, save more time, and help more people too. I help people like you create businesses. I've created several different businesses. My first one coming out of the 2008 recession, and here we are today. Now I'm trying to teach people how to do the same thing and do it in a legitimate manner. This isn't about getting rich quick. This isn't about making money tomorrow. It's about laying the foundations now, learning the language of online business, and creating something that can pay you back in the future, and hopefully have you better off on the other side of all this stuff. But I am showing up every single day here, and I hope that you'll show up too, because it's just a great community, great crowd, and you'll see a lot of good information in the description below to help you as well. All right. By the way, Ellen, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you so much for that. And Sukman, thank you so much for the super chat that just came in too. Every $1 donation provides 5 meals. That's a lot of meals. Now people who super chat know their impact. Thank you so much for that, Ellen. Yes, indeed. So $1 equals 5 people or 5 meals, right? Which is huge. And there's a lot of people who are in need right now, which is why the income that comes in as a bonus here on Super Chat are getting redirected to those who actually are in massive need right now, which is really cool. April Roga, sorry, just wanted to drop a quick hello in the chat just in case you pick me as your random winner for the ridiculous gift giveaway today. This is a ridiculous gift that somebody has given me, by the way. I'm not giving this away to you, unfortunately. I had given away, I think, 15 copies of Superfans last week, so we're going to go back to sort of unlocking crazy stories or other things for now. I will be giving away more copies of Superfans, but this ridiculous giveaway is not something that I'm going to be ridiculously giving to you. Just this is something that somebody ridiculously gave to me, just to kind of clarify that. A fan of mine, and I wanted to share the story, and also unpack that a little bit for you. So just wanted to clarify that for you. How can I contact you? Need advice? Well, we are communicating right now. No, just kidding. Send an email to pat@patflynn.com. I try to get to those as quickly as possible, although I am getting asked quite a bit to do a lot of things recently, so I might not be able to reply right away. But if you send an email to pat@patflynn.com, I may be able to help you out depending on what it is. So I appreciate you for wanting to reach out. Thank you so much for that. Patriotic Consultant says, I've used Facebook groups to promote my podcast, but I am having a hard time finding guests for the show. Any other suggestions? Great. So I would recommend looking at other podcasts in your space to see who is saying yes to being guests on shows. Sometimes it's hard to get a person to do it for the first time. However, a lot of people who do it want to do it more. And so you could look at other feeds to see who else has said yes to being on other people's shows, in which case you could reach back out to those people, or maybe you might even have a relationship with those hosts and say, hey, do you mind putting me in contact with, so-and-so and seeing if they'd be interested in coming on my show too. Or you can just reach out to them on social and say, hey, I loved your interview on XYZ podcast. How would you like to come on my show? That's where I would start. Just go with where there is least friction. They've already done it before. Coach Deb, one of the best teachers. You get all his stuff. He's legit, been following his entire career. 5 stars. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate you. We are old school friends, and we've done so much together. I appreciate you for that. Grandma Goody says, totally agree. Coach Deb Pat is the man. Okay, I'm not here to just talk about myself. This is for you guys, not about me. Stop talking about me. Let's see. Xenia and Vlada says, talking about copies of Superfans, how long does it take to ship a book from the USA to Germany? Curious. Probably about a couple weeks, plus there's customs, plus we're not shipping them out like the day of, the day that we reward them. We are shipping them out in sort of larger batches, so we just take one trip to the UPS store. So it'll take some time. I apologize. Pat, where can I get my mic not from US or eBay? Preferably Samson Q2U. So let's see, not from US or eBay. I mean, there's, depending on where you're at, you can get mics from Amazon stores in other countries for sure. There's those Amazon stores perhaps might still have some inventory. Facebook marketplaces might have some as well. Craigslist might have some. People are selling off a lot of things right now to sort of supplement their income. So you might have to be a little bit creative. Amazon's typically the place to go, although the Samsung Q2U, at least in the US, is sort of out of inventory right now, which is pretty crazy. But they're getting it back very shortly here. I reached out to them and they said that they're getting more soon. Let's see. Francis says, so grateful for the group. It has kept me going. I've made so much more progress by being connected here. Thanks, Pat, and thanks for the group. See, if you stick around, you be a part of the conversation, even if you're just having me in the background as you're watching this. And if you have kids in the room, hello, kids. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, this can help you. Just being involved in communities sort of can get you inspired and get you going. And, it just might take that one answer to one person's question that you overhear that might be a good idea that could change everything for you. So I just want to commend you all for being here. Let's see, Pat, let's not talk about you then. Let's shout out to everyone here that has supported each other due to you. We are creating greatness. Indeed. There's a Slack group. There's so many people here who are helping to support each other. This is all you. This is all you, seriously. Let's see, Alexis Press. I've never heard of that, but this is AliExpress. I was like, Alexis Press. I see it now. I see it. AliExpress. I've never heard of that, actually, but it seems like it's a marketplace that you could potentially get something. Speaking of that, a lot of ideas have sprouted from hanging out. See, that's what I'm talking about. For example, I revamped my photography site to leverage it into my 1,900-person photography Facebook group. Well done, Corey. Way to take action. I absolutely love that. Thank you for the congratulations on 42, Chris. I appreciate you. You finally figured out life, universe, and all the rest. It's good to see you here. I appreciate you, Chris. Haven't figured everything out. You know, every day is figuring it out. But as Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable. And I think that's the important lesson to learn for sure. Amuse Muse says, I'm sure you stay really busy between business and family, but do you ever make time to read or just fun? If so, what kind of stuff do you like to read? So my fun is actually reading business books. I just absolutely love that. So I get a lot of books sent to me, and those are really fun to read because I can sort of just dive into what's new and dive into a person's brain. I mean, to me, that's huge, right? Although that's still business related, so I'm not going to even count that. I love to watch movies. I love to play video games. I'm really, really digging a number of video games that I've gotten on VR right now using the Quest, and puzzle games are really fun. I love to build and construct and take things down and build them back up. My kids love to build too. I love to cook. I absolutely love to try new recipes and experiment there as well. I'm learning a lot of the sort of chemistry of food and just kind of experimenting, creating my own recipes from there. Yeah, that's kind of what I do for fun. Yeah, that's. Thank you for asking. K-Walk Comedy says, we haven't had a bro today. Bruh. Yes, we have. We had a number of bros. Bros, what's up? Just kidding. But yeah, we've had a few. Cutting out, got to prepare for harmony on husband's cool rocking song Junkie. Cool Don, thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. By the way, I think we are very near our 200 person like goal. So hit that like button. We are very close to there, and I'm going to share with you a fun gift that somebody had sent me that is very meaningful, but pretty ridiculous and pretty awesome at the same time. Xavier says, Pat, how important, relevant are professional qualifications in your About Me page? I see some including them and others not. Having them in there helps. Not having them in there doesn't hurt as much. Professional qualifications are essentially just proof. And whatever proof that you can have on your website to show that you are legitimate in what it is you're talking about can help. You don't have to have those qualifications to be legitimate, though. I think there's a sort of preconceived idea of what an expert actually is. And an expert doesn't necessarily mean you have all of the qualifications and credentials in that entire space, because I think that a lot of what shows proof and shows qualification is how have you helped others, which is why testimonials are really key. How involved are you in the industry? How many years have you been a part of that is another part of being proof and truthful and authentic about a certain thing, and showing that you are actually somebody worth listening to and learning from. But qualifications do help, for sure. I wouldn't start an About page, however, and if you've seen the website reviews here on the channel before, you often see me sort of, hesitate with About pages that just start talking about themselves first. Yes, an About page is about you, it's about your business, it's about your website. However, an About page is really about the other person and how you and them can develop a relationship together and how they match up, right? So if an About page starts with, I'm a, seasoned veteran in the world of and I have, PhDs and all these credentials, and I've been doing this for years, like, that's cool to put on there, but have that be like the second paragraph. The first paragraph should be how much this is meaningful to you, that you can connect with somebody on the other end, and what your specialties are and why that matters to the person on the other end. It's always about why this matters. So these credentials, why do they matter? It shows that there's proof that you are worth listening to, but it doesn't hurt not to have them. It can only help you if you do. Let's see. Zenyan Vlada says, I just want to say thank you. I want to thank you too. Appreciate you. What's the update on FlynnCon? So, FlynnCon was canceled. The hotel said it's going to seem like that we're not going to be able to put this event on. So, we have options. We would love for you to come back in 2021. We'll hold your deposit. We're not going to charge you $79,000 next week. So that's what happened. And so I don't have to pay $79,000, which was in the contract because we signed it. But of course, crazy things have happened since then. And I was a little bit worried because, they could fight that because it's in the contract. However, it's still, it would be impossible for me to put this event on. So they're holding the $10K deposit for the hotel. And then I will only have to pay them next year, 30 days prior to the event. So FlynnCon is going to happen in 2021. Hopefully, all things considered, it will be on. And I'm not going to be charged this crazy amount up front for an event that is not going to happen. So yay! Woo! Big win. massive win. Very, very thankful about that. So that's the update on FlynnCon. It's going to happen 2021. I'm not selling tickets to 2021 right now, but people who had their ticket for 2020, they could either get their refund or have their ticket carry over to 2021. And that's where we're at with that. Super, super excited that that's how it went down. Whew. Samuel said, Pat, how specific should my niche be? I want to help service members and veterans, but thinking of just focusing on one. Would love your advice. Thanks. Well, as I always say, the riches are in the niches. When you can start out small and honed in, it's so much easier for you to connect with people who could benefit from your service. It's so much easier to cut through the noise. It's so much easier to help those people and just get one person, one result. And when you do that, you can then expand out from there or even go deeper with that specific group. And that's very, very common to happen, right? So start smaller. I would pick one, but even within that one, maybe it's veterans who specifically have a skill. Maybe it's a certain kind of veteran that you can go to, because then they're going to see that you are meant for them. Like, you specifically help that group of people, because if you just pick all veterans, for example, different kinds of veterans, different groups, different age groups, but also different interests are going to have different needs and capability and different superpowers and different pathways. And if you could pick one group and help them all with the same pathway, you're going to cut through that noise and become their go-to, their resource, their favorite so much sooner. That's where I would start. It doesn't mean that you have to stay there, but it might mean that you might expand out and then start to add other people horizontally in different interests or different spaces within that group, or you might go deeper. You might actually just focus on that one little tiny group alone, but giving them so much massive value. Then you have that ascension ladder of free to small paid to bigger paid and that sort of thing. And you can help them out like just completely. So that's what I would recommend, Samuel, for sure. WP says, you have the best t-shirts. Where do you get them? tpublic.com is a great place. There's a whole bunch of geek t-shirt places that I often browse, and that's where I get my t-shirts from. This is an older one. In fact, you'll see videos from a couple years ago with this one in there. Questions from K-Walk. Any ideas for interviewing with authors for upcoming books? I have 2 interviews lined up for podcasts, but books aren't out yet. Yeah, that's great. You can see their book on Amazon. Typically, if it is going to be on Amazon, you can see them ahead of time, right? They are potentially available for pre-order. So you can actually even get an affiliate link for pre-ordered books, and that could be a great place to go. I like that you're interviewing people who don't even have their books out yet. You can either plan to have them published when they come out, or you can plan to publish them now, in which case people can pre-order them and get them earlier. So any ideas for interviews with authors for upcoming books? I have 2 interviews lined up for podcasts, but books aren't out yet. You can see what other authors are doing other podcasts already, so you can go there. You might be able to discover through Amazon's upcoming books. You can do that, actually. I think I don't know if I want to do that live here, but yeah. You can see the books that are coming up. Thank you, Karma. Thank you. There's been a few super chats. I want to give you a shout out in just a moment. There have been a few. So you can go to Amazon and see what books are coming out later. I would reach out to those people, because those people are likely going to say very, very much yes to the opportunities to have their book get exposure, for sure. It's just like when you go on tour, like you just say yes to kind of everything so that you can get in front of as many people as possible. Grandma Goody says, how much content should or is needed to start a membership? Focuses on folks with kids at home with direct connection between play and Bible stories. How much content? I would say there should be minimal content, but more so the ability to help people through a journey. That's really what a membership site is best for. It's for support. It's for helping people sort of, yes, they might get their content even elsewhere, maybe even in a paid course, but a back-end membership website can help people continue through that or even continue after taking the course. And I think that's really key. So there doesn't necessarily have to be a lot of content. There just has to be a plan for how people can manage and go through and get results and have connectivity and community and maybe even like events coming up that you can go live for, or other things like that are going to be much more helpful than, hey, get access to all these things. Now, having some stuff in there can be helpful and fill it out a little bit, but that's not why people are coming. They may come to you for the content, but they want to stay and be involved in the membership for the community and the events and the connection. So there was a few super chats that came in that I want to make sure I get. Let's see as they come in. Hey, Archer. What's up? Hey, Archer. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Love the Super Bros shirt. Meals on Meals. Meals on Meals on Meals for show. Faux show. Hey, we got our like goal already. That's pretty crazy. Chip Franks, $10. Thanks for doing this, Pat. We really appreciate you. I really appreciate you as well, Chip. Thank you so much for that. It's going to help a lot of people. Aaron says, hope to attend FlynnCon in 2020, but it's so close to when San Diego Comic-Con happens where I interview a lot of people for my podcast, but I do want to meet some people and Pat too. Yeah, we actually moved the date for the 2020 FlynnCon as a result of Comic-Con because we do not want to have them on the same week, not just because people are going to be going to Comic-Con, but because everything like hotel prices and travel, it's just like ridiculous during that week. So we can benefit more by having it during one of the not Super Chat week or not Comic-Con weeks. Corey says $5 from Corey. I swear I'll eventually add a few zeros. Hey, no worries, Corey. You know, this is about you, not about me, but thank you so much for donating. I appreciate that. Karma Cash Flow, the income stream equals pure awesomeness. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cool. We are at the like goal already, which is crazy. We smashed that. So let me go get that. And I want to share a quick story about this gift that somebody had given me. And I'm just so thankful for that. And then I'm going to answer a few more questions until the top of the hour. And then, hey, it's Monday. We got stuff to do, right? And we're going to make the best of it, as we always do. Just hold on one sec. Cool. So this was a gift from, and I'm going to pop up our website here. And this is so cool. I cannot believe she made this for me. So let me pop it up here. So this is, and I actually don't know if I'm on here, but this is from a woman named Leah. And Leah is the queen of snow globes, the queen of snow globes. And these are like custom snow globes. And she makes these snow globes for like legit celebrities. It's kind of ridiculous. And so to get this as a gift was really amazing. I want to show it to you here. So let me move that around. I don't know if you could see that, but what are you seeing on the screen there? I don't know if you can make it out yet. But that is a DeLorean with Twins Pine Mall and Doc Brown's vehicle that held the DeLorean. And see, Queen of Snow Globes under there. And this is probably the most ridiculous gift I got because it's a snow globe. Like, who like snow globe, really? But apparently she had gotten a lot of help following the brand and making, taking action and making things happen. I believe she was also featured on Ask Pat at one point in time. And it's just like the coolest thing. And I'm like, how do you even make this? I don't even understand how this works. Like, she makes these custom for people. But like, how dope is that? This is so cool. And it just shows you, like, when you provide value, you step up and you help people. I mean, we humans just have this need to want to help people back. I mean, look at the super chats that came in today. Look at everybody who's still here. There's 250 people watching live right now. And even though I'm showing up every day and I'm doing this for free, people still want to pay you back in return. And no, not everybody's going to do that. But a lot of people will find unique ways to do that. I think I have another, I don't know if I can find it. Let me see. I was trying to show you this secret compartment in my office. I don't know if you could see that, but that's just a small amount, and those were all sent to me by fans too. And I'm not showing you this because I'm like, hey, look at me, I got fans, but I'm just like, when you provide and you show up for people, they're gonna find ways to pay you back. And most of the gifts I get are about Back to the Future, by the way. which just shows you that there's like a real connection there because they know that that's something I love. And I mean, this is Back to the Future as well, right? So it's just like when you show up and you put your personality, even though other people might not be Back to the Future fans and nerds like I am, it becomes a part of what people know you for. And putting your personality into your brand is really key. Even though Back to the Future has nothing to do with like building online businesses, I make it a part of what I talk about in the language and just who I am, and that's what people know and remember. And let me see, like, can I get like Yoshi eating this? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, sorry. You just need to show up and be fully yourself. Don't be afraid to be you. Embrace your weird, right? And people will connect to you for you. It's like I see a lot of people doing online business. And they're like, okay, well, I'm going to film a course. I need to rent a Lamborghini. I need to be in like some fancy mansion to do that. And I'm like, no, like you're going to get people to like you, but you're going to get people to like you for the wrong reasons. They're not going to like you, actually. They're going to like the Lamborghini in the background, or they're going to like this garage that you have or whatever, right? Versus you just showing up and being weirdly you. I mean, you're going to get the real people in the world who will want to connect with you and be your fan. And it's these little things that like often will have people just remember me, right? Like if you see a DeLorean on the street, I often get pictures of people at least once or twice a month from people snapping a photo of a DeLorean they see driving on the road, or a toy that they see somewhere from Back to the Future. And they're like, hey, Pat, this just reminded me of you. And I'm just like, this is really crazy. And for a while, I didn't understand. I didn't know why this was happening. But eventually it became so apparent that it's because they know me as me. And it's so much more than just what it is you talk about on a podcast. It's so much more than what you write about in a blog post. It's all about who you are and how you show up. So hopefully this encourages you as we finish up today to fully show up, embrace who you are and what you're known for, and even start to inject a lot of other things that maybe your friends know about. Well, why don't people online know you about that too? Thank you so much for that. And 282236, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate you. This has been a really good conversation today. I appreciate it. Liz says, my pug was part of my brand for years. She passed away 5 years ago, and I still get pug pics, memes, etc. Right? I love that. And your pug showing up on your brand just becomes a part of the whole experience, right? Because that's really what this is about. It's what I talk about in my book, Super Fans. The idea that a person doesn't become a fan of you overnight. They become a fan of you from the moments that you create for them over time, and how they get to know you and how they get to experience you over time. So that's your big lesson for today. So thank you for allowing me to share that with you. I appreciate you. We are here at the top of the hour. I'm going to go for a couple more minutes here. But well done today on the like goal. I didn't even have to beg for it this time. Just bruh. Hashtag bruh. By the way, should anybody be in the audience who has some design skills that they might want to offer for the community, I'd love to showcase and maybe even create t-shirts of some design specific to the income stream here, who is crowdsource art from the community, and I want to reward you for that. If you are an artist and you have a t-shirt idea and you could create that, I'd love to reward you for that and see what we could do to sort of have a shirt show up here on the stream one day with your art on it. I think that would be really fun to do. So if that's you, hit me up, pat@patflynn.com, and we can just have some fun with it, right? Like, what if every day I wore a shirt that was community based? I'd have a lot of shirts, but it would be super cool, and I can give you a shout out, and I think that would be super fun. So shoot me an email, pat@patflynn.com, if you have a design. It doesn't have to be super fancy, just something from you. I'm probably gonna get a load of people now, but I'd love to reward you. I'd love to wear a shirt and show off your art. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think that'd be super cool. All right, it's 9 a.m. Thank you so much. I got some work to do. I know you got some work to do too. Team Flynn, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Team Flynn for the win. And also make sure, don't forget this link, patflynn.com/theincomestream every morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. Love y'all. Peace out. Take care. Thanks for being here. Go watch some of my other videos if you have some time. That would help out a lot. And look out for a video coming out probably tomorrow about all the things that have happened since going live for this long. I share and reveal a lot of the numbers, a lot of the income, a lot of the subscriber growth as a result of going live for 30 days straight. I'll remind you tomorrow, I'll post it live here tomorrow so we could all sort of see that go live together. Till then, Cheers. Take care. Peace out. Love y'all. Bye.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.